Hello, you! I think it's about time, given that Halloween is just around the corner. Do you remember this guy? I did a part 1 where I had intentions of making my very own Dokuro Zero out of a model Zaku 1, the high grade, from way back in 2006. So it's about time that I gave you a work in progress. So this is how far I've come. I found that the legs here, the thigh, was quite long in the Dokuro. This is a Vercar. I cut the thigh in half and I stuffed a big chunk of polystyrene sheet in here to make it a bit longer. I slathered on a bit of some of this stuff to give it a bit of a more three-dimensional. So I intend to do that all over the place. And I think I mentioned that I'd paint him in, I think probably it's going to be greenish white, most likely. So this is my work in progress. So the chest is very different from a normal Zaku you see here. It's a lot more rounded, there's a middle section. Got rid of that, stuck 2 pieces of styrene sheet on top of there and bended it over and bonded it in the middle. Henry McKellen. If you look on his channel, he did a mega-sized Zaku conversion into the Dokuro. So have a look at that one. He beat me to the punch. Did a rough sketch of where the bones will be. So paint the rest of it black. The most difficult part, of course, how do I get a decent-sized version of this, of my own making? Answer: I can't. And that is mostly why I kind of stopped. What I found on the internet is that there is a thing called 3D photogrammetry, where you can do a 3D scan of anything, any object, by taking lots of photographs all around, over and over and over again, of the subject that you want to scan. And this particular camera is very good because it does macro. So macro just means that you can get very close to things and have them in focus. Download all the photographs into your computer and you shove it into a piece of software called Meshroom. Link in the description. The version is 2021.1.0. I don't know, is that the year that it was released? There may well be a newer version for you to download and install, so keep an eye out for that. I'm borrowing Junior's old Windows 11 laptop to run this. Crucially, it requires a NVIDIA GPU. This laptop has a GTX 1650 here and an Intel i5 9300 CPU with 16 gigabytes of RAM. A very modest specification by today's standards, but it'll do. So first off, we select Import Images, and we select all the photographs that you saved on your computer. Notice I had a red background for the photographs. We don't want to make it have anything complicated in the backdrop and make the job any more difficult for the software. Click on the big green Start button at the top and let it do its job. There's a progress bar here to give you a good idea of how much is already done and how many more tasks it has left to do. There's going to be some heavy number crunching to figure out all the angles, all the different angles that each photo was taken at, and we've got a little bit less than 100 photographs here for it to chew through. And when you come back, you'll see that the progress bar at the top is fully green, and you're pretty much done. There are some sliders on the right here. If you shrink the cameras, and then you can manipulate the point cloud, you can already see what you've scanned. But ignore that. Jump out of Meshroom. What we're looking for is the OBJ file, the object file, which is hidden in here. If you do a search .obj, you'll be able to find it. And here we go. Open that file and look at what we've got. Now this one is a bad scan. You'll see that there's a big hole in the skull. That is probably some reflections in the photograph, some overblown highlights. So did it again, retook some photographs. This one is textured OBJ file, so it has colors in it as well. It's texture mapped on top, and that one also had a hole in it, a smaller hole. First you don't succeed, try again, and this one's perfect. No holes in the skull, and it looks great, doesn't it? So this is the file that I saved, and I forwarded it to Mokanaman, Alan, my man in Australia. So hopefully he's going to be able to 3D print this into something physical that I can use. He's going to be making a 3D printable version of that, and he's going to be scaling up that little head and make it work for this 1 in 1/44 scale kit. I must finish this Dokuro 1 in 1/44 scale high grade custom for Halloween, October 31st, 2024. And if you've got a Zaku one knocking around, whatever the scale, and you want to join in, it can be a fun thing we can do together. One of those YouTube group things. Make a video response to this video. Anyway, did you want to know what this looks like next to a tin of pop? Just give me a second. So this blind box Vercar Dokuro Zero type thing is quite a bit smaller than a tin of pop. But the 1 in 1/44 scale Heat Hawk, which doesn't make any sense. So I got him a bigger one. I robbed this from a, was it Gundam The Origin version of the Zaku. It's a bit too big, to be honest, but it'll do. I think it'll look rather cool when I'm done. Alright, that'll do for today. Bye.